Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you are new to the channel, please hit that sub button, hit that notification bell so you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. If you like this video, do me a favor, hit that little like button. And today, we are going to be getting into Web of Venom, Empire's End. Now, for those that don't know, this is going to be going directly into the King in Black event that Marvel currently is loading up for. It's going to be taking off December 1st. Now, for those that don't know, the King in Black is Knull. Now, Knull is a deity of sorts. He's pretty much the god of the symbiotes. He created all of the symbiotes, and we'll talk more about him after we get through this issue. For those that want a little bit more back history on exactly how we got to where we are right now. But this event is essentially picking up directly after Empyre. Now, if you guys didn't check out Empyre, it was a huge event against the Kasady. Now, I have an entire playlist with every single issue. I'll leave a link so you guys can check that out. Get completely caught up on that last event that leads into this one. So without further ado, let's dive into this issue. So getting into this one, we're met with a Kree Skrull ship intercepting an escape pod that had an emergency beacon going off that says, "Do not attempt to rescue." But instead, they decide that they're going to try to rescue them. So they bring in this escape pod, and they find out that it's a soldier of Skrull origin. And they sedate him because he's freaking out. And when he finally comes to, the general's standing before him, and he asks him what exactly happened. What's going on? Like, why were you in that escape pod? And where is the rest of your team? And he lets the general know that after successfully engaging with and neutralizing the Kasady, Emperor Hulking had learned of a troubling pattern at the edge of Kree Skrull space. They lost contact with an outpost on planet Lignac. And Skrull intelligence had also learned that the same thing had happened on not just that planet, but multiple planets, all which were small colonies, research outposts with little to no resources to speak of, no major military presence or warships of any kind. And so by orders of Emperor Hulking, he assembled a small crew of individuals to go investigate what was going on. And when they were on their way, they really expected to fix a technical issue, maybe a satellite, something like that. But what they hadn't realized is that each planet overtaken was in a path. And if you look at it from a bird's eye view, you can actually see the pattern of planets being overtaken one by one, almost like it's on a trajectory path. And so we give a little introduction to who everybody here is. We have Avram, Kia, Malance, Tarna, and Ethan Edwards. And as they go to investigate what happened, they run into what appears to be a field full of escape pods just floating out in space, away from the outpost, away from the planet, as if they were trying to escape from something. And so they get one of these escape pods, and they decide that they want to bring it on board to see who's inside and if they are alive. And as soon as they get this thing open, they're attacked. They're attacked by a symbiote. And their first thoughts automatically is, this is a trap. It has to be a trap. All of these things, all these pods are full of symbiotes. We have to get out of here right now. And so they take off down the hall, trying any way they can to try to contain this symbiote before it escapes. And this is where we see Ethan Edwards taken by the symbiote. Avram has already been killed as well. Now, Kia is outside with the pods that are out there, and he sees something coming at him. And it is literally symbiote dragons. And he tries to make his escape, but it's too late. And someone shoots symbiote at him. And it infiltrates his suit and just kills him. So what's left of the crew gets to the crew station, gets to the bridge, and they try to make their escape. But before they're able to make their escape, the dragons hit the ship, and they essentially encapsulize this starship in a symbiote cocoon, if you will. And with that, the symbiotes start breaking in. And so locked in here, they decide to set the ship for self-destruct and make their way to the escape pods. It's their only hope being able to survive this. And so they open up the doors and they let loose. starting to blast symbiotes left and right. And they attempt to use zero gravity to their advantage, but it really doesn't work. The symbiotes adapt to it, and they form into something that can deal with zero gravity. And one by one, these guys are just getting taken out. And they finally make their way to the escape pods. And Talos, he decides that he's going to make sure that Avron gets out of there first. And he throws her into an escape pod and jettisons her out of there. And then we hear a voice from behind him say, "How noble." And he turns around and he sees Nola, god of the symbiotes. And he gives a little speech about how they've come across the cosmos, dragging the shadows of their planet all over the length of the galaxy, one planet at a time, like a death shroud. And Nola allows him to run away and lets him know that he's going to see him again. He's going to see him again very soon. And as his escape pod makes its way into space, the ship self-destructs, and they were all on the ship. So he thought possibly, maybe, there was a chance that they had died with the ship. But he was wrong. He was a decoy. And he tells the general, "You should have heeded my distress signal, General. It wasn't a call for help. It was a warning. It was a warning that said, do not attempt to rescue. And now it's too late. You are too late, and the symbiotes, they're not coming. The symbiotes are here. And this will begin the King in Black." That will be the end of this issue. Now, this is a build-up for the next Marvel event that's currently going on. This is kind of our prelude, if you will, or our prequel to what's going to happen. Now, we're going to talk about Nola here for a little bit, because he's relatively new to the Marvel comic universe. He first appeared in Venom issue number 3 back in 2008. And he's known as a elder god. He's from the primordial void. Now, he's got a handful of abilities, from super strength to immortality. He's credited with the symbiote creation, and it's almost like a hive mind that he at one time manipulated. Now, a little back history on him for those that don't know. Like I said, Nola is a primordial deity. And when the Celestials had arrived and began creating the 7th iteration of the Marvel Universe, he was awakened by the light of creation and outraged because pretty much the darkness of his kingdom was being taken away. And so he retaliated by creating All Black, the Necro Sword, and he chopped off one of the heads of the Celestials. Seeing this, the Celestials had banished him, and him and the severed head of the Celestial went into the void. While in the void, he used the head to forge the symbiotes and combined it with the cosmic energies of the head. Now, in doing this, he unintentionally gave symbiotes its weakness to sonic attacks and fire. And with all this, he decided to create symbiote armor. With All Black at his side, he started just killing deities. Now, at one point, he learns that he can attach this symbiote to lesser life forms and essentially have control over them. And this is where he created, and the beginning of the symbiote emporium started. Now, he's been defeated by a handful of people throughout this. He's been defeated by the Silver Surfer. He was defeated by Thor as well. Now, when he was defeated by Thor, it broke the connection of the symbiote hive mind. So all symbiotes that were scattered over the universe were now free of his control and began bonding to malevolent hosts and learning about the light. The symbiotes, pretty much rebelled against their god, and they trapped him within an artificial planet formed of thousands of symbiotes. And now he's broken out, and now he is free to continue his conquest against the Marvel Universe. And it's going to take everybody to be able to stop this god. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. And until the next issue,